welcome back to Lit in English season 4, and thanks everyone for being here, for joining us on this journey. And this is great because we are at the halfway point of our journey, our 21 days journey to understand the four principle and the three semantic reference system. And just a quick um, refresh on what we have done in the past couple of days. We focus a lot on the root formula, and the essential of the root formula is that it helps us understand the um, the root of all things. Because when we look at any topic or anything that we would like to learn about, we want to get to the very foundation of it, and the root formula help us do that. And when we analyze success story, like the success story of Bill Gates, of Jeff Bezos, of Elon Musk, we was able to look at the foundation or the building block of their success through the root formula. And we realize that everything that we have in the present, those are materialized because of our view in the past, because of the information that we had in the past. Everything we did, we materialize the result right here, right now, at the present. Therefore, in order to acquire the future that we want, the future that we desire, it is extremely important that we know what to do right here, right now, in the presence. And the root formula give us that understanding of the foundational information, and it helps us realize that, you know what, once we can find our image, or when we change our image to the to the outcome that we want, sooner or later we will be able to materialize that outcome. And following the root formula, the triangle of reality will tell us something very important as well. The triangle of reality will give us the tool that we need to not only figure out, but to understand what kind of information we need in order to shape the future that we want. For example, when we look at successful millionaire and billionaire like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk, some of us might have a dream to be as successful as they are, but where do we start? How do we know what we need to do to be like them? And lucky for us, we live in an age where informations are readily available. And for me, when I learned about success and everything else, I read book, and I read success story from the people who already made it. And if you can recall back to a couple of episodes back, I told the story of the book, pretty much the Millionaire Habit. And in there, the author provide a lot of information of how to be a millionaire. And he is famous for saying that in order to make $1 million, you have to be a millionaire first. So what he was saying is pretty much you need the information of how to be a millionaire, and then you got to apply it. You got to make it into a habit, and by doing so, you can be as successful as the author and many of his friends who are millionaire. So the entire point is that there are information that can help us get to the result that we want, help us to the outcome that we want. However, how do we know that the information we would be receiving is right for us? How do we know that the information that we are receiving is right for the reality that we want? And that is where the triangle of reality will come in. And again, this is the three semantic reference system. The beauty of the three semantic reference system is that it will allow us, using these three systems, to look at a topic or look at anything. And we not only able to find the foundational building block of it, it will also give us the principle, the information, and everything related to that particular topic. And with the right information and the right destination, we will be able to get there. The three semantic reference system will provide us the information we need to materialize our vision, our dream. And an example for it is the four principle that we have learned early on in this journey, like the principle of light, the activation of the human brain, the principle of transformation, and then the circle of knowledge. All four of those amazing principles were built using the three semantic reference system. And this is the essence of our journey. So, and I will prove to you the use and the essence of the triangle of reality. And this is something that I was very, very proud of when I first learned about the triangle of reality. And I'm going to recall back to a couple of topics that I have already mentioned when we explore the principle of light. So I would like to invite you to grab another piece of paper and draw alongside with me, and together we will understand the triangle of reality better. Okay. So one thing that that I have been searching for a very, very long time is the definition of success itself. So success, I believe this is the right word. This is what everyone is chasing after, yet not many of us understand how to be successful. And we are going to use the triangle of reality to look at this, and through it, hopefully we will have a greater understanding of the triangle of reality. And again, I did went over this a little bit back in the principle of light episode, which is episode number 2. So if you missed that, feel free to go back and check it out. But today we are going to dive in a little bit deeper into the triangle of reality of success. Okay. So when I am talking about success, I only talk about a part of being successful, the part that is more familiar to most people. And that would be the success in financial stability, as in you make enough money to then use that money to take care of yourself and take care of people around you. So I know success a much broader have a much broader information to it, but in order to understand the triangle of reality, we will simplify it a little bit more. So when we talk about success, and when I look at success, I uh, I think about how to how to be successful. And one of the biggest barrier to success that we have discussed in the sixth barrier episode is the the limiting belief or the lack of vision. Limiting belief is barrier number one, and lack of vision is number six. And one of a very successful entrepreneur lady that I have met when I was much younger. She was actually the mother of one of my friend, but for some reason I forgot why. But one day when I was talking to her, and I guess I was asking for some advices, and she said something very interesting. She said that if other people can do it, then I can do it. Or when he says to me, if other people can do it, then you can do it too. And that stuck with me. And now that I am recalling that event, I think that was during our trip to Saigon to apply for my visa and her daughter visa to go to the U.S. And I think she was saying that because if other people can can go to the U.S. to go to school to go study abroad, then we can do it too. But then that is the very, very important saying, because if other people can do it, then we can do it. That is actually a principle to success. And later I've learned that those are the notion of success. The notion. So if other people can do it, then we can do it too. Those are one of the many notion of success. Those are one of the many information that we need to know in order to becoming successful. And then obviously there are other notion of success, like it is not about what you know, it's also about who you know. And that quote is demonstrating that the relationship that you have will bring in the opportunity that you might not have otherwise. And I have learned that because um, of the meeting that I have with one of my friends in Vietnam. So long story short, because I have to tell this story many, many times. Pretty much, I was just having a drink with one of my best friends when I went back to Vietnam to visit, and he was doing well. He was doing very, very well um, with his company, but he's still complaining of how he was very professional. He worked in his company. He's doing very, very well, but for some reason, he just not as successful as one of his co-worker. So he's been in his company for a year. He is definitely fit to be called a professional in his work. But one of his co-worker, who is a driver of his boss, has been doing even better than he is, climbing the ladder to the company structure very, very quickly. And he said that the other person is not even work in the industry. So pretty much he had no profession in the industry, but because he was a driver of the boss, he get to spend time with the boss. And then in Vietnam, as many of you know, when all of the important meeting is at the drinking table. Therefore, his co-worker is the one who take care of the boss. He was the one that go into the meeting with the boss to talk to other, I guess, other CEO, other owner, and through that, he was able to build relationship. Relationship. I'm just going to write relation. And through that relationship, he was able to get to success even faster than what my friend did. So through the triangle of reality, I recognized that in order to be successful, we had to know about the notion of success, or all of the principle to be successful. But that's not it. We also need to be professional with whatever success that we want to accomplish. And then we also need to be having great relationship. And through this, we realize something very, very interesting. And that is, in order to be successful, and this is the case study too from looking at many, many people, the researcher found that only 20% of your profession will determine your success. And they found out that 40% of the element of relationship contribute to your success. And there are 40% of the notion of success will contribute to your success. And this is extremely, extremely important, because throughout our life, throughout our professional career, from when we was born to when we are getting older, society tell us that we need to work on our profession. Society tell us that we have to go to school, get a good grade, and do what you're supposed to do. But what they was focusing on is that they focusing on the profession, because just thinking about it, from when you was born until you turn 18, you spend many, many years in school. And in order to get a high school degree at, let's say, 18, you spend 18 years to develop your profession, and you can't really do much with it until you go to university. That's another 4 years. So on average, it will take another 4 years at 22 to just get a bachelor degree. And then if you are like many other Asian American here in the US, your parent would want you to be either a doctor or a lawyer, or becoming an engineer. So let's take the doctor path, for example. That will, from 22, you're gonna need another 6 years to complete your doctor certification. So that will be at 26. and then you're gonna spend another 4 year to work at the hospital to complete your certification. And this is only the beginning of your profession. There are more to it. And I know this because my father is a doctor and also my brother is a doctor. It took him a long time to be a doctor, and then he had to spend many, many years um, study in his specialty, his field of specialty, and it can be longer than 30 years. What people did not tell us, which we had to find out through the triangle of reality, is that all of the time that we spend in school building our academic career, those only contribute 20% to our success. And let me repeat that again. All of those time that we have spent in school in learning only contribute 20% to our success, and nobody tell us about this. Looking at the analysis of the triangle of success here, we realize that 80% of success is through the notion of success and the relationship of success. Let me write that down real quick. 80% of success is through having relationship and having the right notion of success. And this is true for everything. This is true if you want to be a successful doctor. This is true if you want to be a successful business owner. This holds true if you are just simply want to be a good employee. And this is extremely, extremely crazy because you can work on your notion of success. You can work on your relationship to lead you to success. And you have 80% chance to be successful at any path that you choose. Profession can come later. And I can tell you this with confidence because there are many studies showing that most graduate from university, they ended up working in the field that very different from the degree that they have earned in that university or in that college. That is a fact. So what ended up happening is that people went to school for a degree that they don't really use. Everything that they eventually learn are from the workplace. When they go to apply to a job, yes, having a degree is one of the requirements, but often the employer will looking for information to make sure that that employee is the right fit. And when the employee is hired, he will or she will get retrained of that job, and then he or she need to learn the notion of success, and then they had to learn how to build a relationship to success. And again, I'm telling you this with confidence because I have seen it firsthand. I have a cousin that I used to live with for a few years, and we share a lot of information. And he is very smart. His name is Henry. However, he he doesn't he doesn't believe how well he does in school, and he went for a communication degree in college. But one interesting thing about Henry is that he understand how um, relationship work. He's loved people. He loved talking to people, and he is very good at making sure that everyone is comfortable, making sure that everyone having a good time. And he climbed up the ladder to success very, very quickly. And I am talking about doubling your income in the matter of year. Every time, every few months that I talk to him after he graduated from school, he always he always shared that, oh, I'm quitting my old job and I just got a new job. And he don't tell me the number, but through talking to him, I know that the number increased significantly. So imagine not owning a business, just working and having the ability to doubling your income twice, sometimes even three times within the first 1 or 2 years. And both of us knew of this. Both of us knew that Henry was very good at building relationship, and that's exactly what he did. He built a good relationship with his employee, with his manager, and of course, his manager would invite him to go to a house party, and at that party, he get to meet with other manager. And if you are familiar with being a business operator or being a manager, you have to manage people, human resources, and a lot of time you will need to fill in a position when your employee quit or stay unable to work for some reason. So through the relationship with his manager, Henry was able to build relationship with other manager. So when the opportunity come, instead of just looking for a new candidate, they would ask Henry, if, hey, do you want to, can you help me out? Just can you fill it in this job? And opportunity would present itself to Henry to relationship. Very, very similar to what I said earlier about one of my best friend co-worker, of how he was just spending time with his boss and other people bosses all the time, and he always had opportunity. So now that I think about it, just through relationship alone, Henry was able to do very well for himself. But that just imagine that you understand exactly all you need to be successful, and you understand how relationship work, and you invest time to build that relationship and to build that notion of success. Not only you are guaranteed to be successful, I'm going to repeat this many, many times. Not only you are guaranteed to be successful, you now have the superpower of getting into any field of your choice, and you can be successful at it. And this is the powerful, very, very powerful use of the triangle of reality, because it will help us truly understand how a topic would be. We will be able to dive in very, very deep to analyze it, to find the foundation of it. And right here, we understand the notion of success. And some of you might want to know more about how to build a better relationship, which are the more important notion of success. And the true way through this journey, you will find what is right for you, because your need is different from my need. But with the proper reference system, like the three semantic reference system, you will be able, you will have the tool you need to find out what you want to work on. Using my story, for example, I always knew that Henry is very good at his relation. However, he can work on his profession if he choose a new career, or he can learn more about the notion of success. So there's always room for improvement. And now that we know what these are and what they are called, it's just a little bit easier for us to make an improvement on them. So this is the power of the triangle of success. And let's just grab another piece of paper so I can provide you more information of the triangle of success. I mean, the triangle of reality. And this is one of the pre-reference system. And the next phase is strictly information. So I would like to invite you to draw the triangle right in the middle. And this is going to be the triangle of reality. And our teacher show us that in the triangle of reality, there are three angles. On the bottom left, let's write down the word information. Information. And then up top, let's write the word energy. And to the bottom right, let's write the word material. Okay, so the triangle of reality let us know that for every topic, for anything that we are looking at, whether they are material or whether they are immaterial, whether they are tangible or whether they are intangible, we can always analyze them through the three part of that topic or of that thing, because everything have the information within them. Everything give out a type of energy, and they appear in a form of material. For example, if we have a piece of gold, then it will have the information of gold, it will have the energy of gold, it will have the material of gold. However, if we have something like this coin here I happen to have on the table, this is a dime, a US dollar dime. It is a 10 cents. So by looking at this, I can see that it is metal, round. So it has some information about it, and there's an energy give out when I look at this dime, and then I can feel the material of it. Sound very simple, but it is extremely critical to know about these three parts, because earlier, you see, when we look at success through the three part, we have a greater understanding of the triangle of reality and its use. And our teacher also show us that the triangle of information, energy, and material is just one of the many form of triangle of reality that we can use to look at and understand things. But this is one of the very foundational one. And move on to the next one. And again, this is strictly providing you information. So we are going to move this a little bit more quicker, but throughout our journey, we will going back to the triangle of the reality to help us understand many other topics. So our teacher also show us and share with us that for the triangle of reality, we also have knowing and believing and understanding. This is the second triangle of reality. And these are the two foundational that I want you to remember. And this is important because if we were to look at this color pen here, it is easy for us to understand this red marker through the information that is given out. I know that this is an art marker with the color red, and I can feel the energy of it. It is made of plastic, so it's keep out the energy of plastic, and the material of it is the pen that I am holding. So it's simple to look to figure out the three part of this pen. However, when we are analyzing a topic like success, for example, yes, we can analyze the information of success, the energy of success, and the material of success. But it would be better if we can ask ourselves, what do we know about success? What do we believe about success? What do we understand about success? That will determine how successful we are. So it was a little bit easier to analyze the topic using the knowing, believing, and understanding, rather than look at it through information, energy, and material. And let me tell you, these two triangles are the two foundational triangle to understand the two words, the material world and the immaterial world. Okay, the material world being analyzation of something like a marker through information, energy, and material. But for things like success, for things like wisdom, for things like virtue, we can understand it using the second triangle of reality through knowing, believing, and understanding. And if you can call back to the principle of light, when we talk about materialize all immaterial things and immaterialize all material things, that is the sense of wholesome, a holistic life, and holistic understanding. And the triangle of reality can help us with that. We can understand the tangible and we can understand the intangible. And there's a very powerful quote that I have mentioned many times. The quote said that everything created in the world around us, it was created twice. First in the mind, and then second in the real world. Very powerful and very true. And if you can just look at everything around you, the pen that I am using right now was one exists in someone's mind, and then they created it and they sell it. The iPhone, for example, okay, it was one exists in someone's mind, and then they created it. And if you can look at it a little bit deeper, there is a tangible world, as in thing that you can see, thing that you can touch. And then there is an intangible world, thing that we cannot touch, but we can feel, like success, like wisdom, like virtue. And if we can fully understand the two worlds, the tangible and the intangible, through the triangle of reality, you can literally materialize anything you want. You can make it tangible. And if we were to simplify all success story, that's what that is exactly what everyone ever did. Like the story of Mr. Roger Bannister, for example. He just know that he can run 1 mile under 4 minutes. It was intangible to many people. Many people thought that it was impossible. But Mr. Roger Bannister just knew that it is there. He just knew that he can do it, and he knew that he will do it. And he make the intangible tangible. He show it to people that it is possible. And because of how he showed the world that it was possible, soon after his success, many people was able to run the 1 mile under 4 minutes. Recently, I heard that there's someone run the 42 kilometer, that is close to like 30 some mile under 2 hours. That was the fastest run. So pretty much instead of that 4 minute, that person continually running at the very same speed for 2 hours. All right. That is the new record for the world we live in right here, right now. It's insane to think about. But those are the people that are able to make the intangible tangible. They was able to materialize their vision. Materialize. Very powerful word. And the triangle of reality help us have that understanding. And that's the power of it. And again, I know that this might be a little bit vague right now, but eventually we will dive in even deeper, and we will have a greater understanding of it. So moving on to another use of the triangle of reality. So when we look at reality, we also can use the use dogma, and we can also use the view of religion, and science. Excuse me. So dogma is very similar to what we said earlier about the notion of success. So dogma is just the principle, the information that we uh we tend to look at. So these are like a point of view, and this especially holds true for us Vietnamese, because we use dogma to guide us as a way of life. And in Vietnam, we have many teaching that will show us the way, how to live, how like we need to be kind. We were taught that we need to be honest. We need to have virtue. So all of those are like dogma. It's just like the way of life, the truth that passed down through many generations. It's kind of like a principle in a way. And there are a religion, a religious view, and it's leaning more toward believing, it's more toward energy. And there's a view of science where they they value the understanding, they value scientific research in order to reach that material. And the use for the triangle of dogma, religion, and science is we use this to have a better understanding of other people around us. Because if we were to communicate with a religious person, it is better to use the religious view to communicate with them so that we can understand them better, and at the same they can understand us better. But if we were talking to a scientist or someone who have a viewpoint of science, then we quickly realize that we need to also communicate in the point of a scientific view in order to understand each other better. And same thing for dogma. If we was to talk to an average everyday people in Vietnam, then we have to understand their value. We have to understand their culture in order to effectively communicate with them. And this is very important as well, because knowing this, we will know how to communicate with people, because there is no way that we want to talk to a scientist using a heavy, extremely religious focused point of view, and that wouldn't get anywhere. And understanding this, it will be can communicate more effectively, and most importantly, we will be able to provide everyone the equal chance, the equal opportunity to learn about this amazing knowledge in the most effective way um, pop, possible. So that is also the beauty of the triangle of reality. And there is many more, many, many more important view of the triangle of reality, and even the three semantic reference system we can fit though into the triangle of reality as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So our teacher show us that for the triangle of reality, we can fit them in all of the three semantic reference system into the triangle of reality. And the triangle of reality would be to the bottom left. So let's go ahead and write this down. The triangle of reality, because the triangle of reality will provide us the information that we need to know, the knowing of the topic and the dogma, all of the principle foundational information that we need to understand it. And then the root formula will be on the bottom right. The root formula show us the understanding of the material of the topic or the thing that we are looking at. And this is really more toward a scientific understanding of it. And lastly, the human structure, which we will starting to explore tomorrow. So let's write it down real quick. The human structure. Extremely important to understand the three semantic reference system, because the root formula will tell us the root of all things, the foundational principle of all things. The triangle of reality will provide us the information to those foundations so that we can understand them better. And then importantly, the human structure will help us understand ourselves, understand the people we are interacting with. And the same percentage apply here. And this is something that we really need to respect, because through this, we understand that the notion of success is only 40%. The profession of the success is only 20%. The relation is 40%. So if you look at the triangle of reality of the root formula, the triangle of reality, we can see that in order to have the reality that we want, the same percentage apply. It is about only 20%. And then having all of the right principle is only 40% to that reality. And the human structure is responsible to that 40%. And this is very important, because you see, it takes a very long time to acquire profession, and that is only 20% of the reality. It's simple to write out the notion of success, and we know that it is 40%. But it takes years, decades, a very long time to put together all of the notion of success, or all of the notion of the reality that we want. So the information, they are always there, but it may take a very long time for us to gather all of the information. And this takes us to the importance of the human structure, because throughout the human history, we live in society, we coexist with others. And one thing that I have found out, and one thing that I have learned, and this is very important, is that it is much simpler for us to build our relationship with others. And this is something that I has been demonstrating since the beginning of season 4. Okay, even though we do have a lot of information, but just think about it. If we can just have the right relationship, like what my cousin Henry did, all of his success are relational based. it was all about relationship. And if you look at your success right now, whatever reality that you want, it is pretty crazy, but you simply don't have the relationship needed to be successful, because the notion of success can come later. The profession of success will come later. It is all about the people. And I'm saying this with confidence because I can give you many, 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 many examples about having the right relationship. And this is why we are here. This is why I am so thankful to go on this journey with you guys, with everyone, because you know what, together we can do this. Together we will be able to build relationship, we will be able to build community, and it is so valuable to have a great understanding of the human structure, to start building relationship, to build community, because that is what will last, and that is the foundational wellness, well-being of all of us. And I'm very excited to share with you more on the human structure, which is one of the 3 semantic reference system. So I will see you again on Monday, US time, because today is Friday and I take Saturday and Sunday off, but we will return on Monday and we will explore in deep the human structure. And through that, we are almost guaranteed to have a solid path through any of the reality that we want. And once again, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and I will see you next week. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.